The leopard visits the cow at night. You'll be surprised to learn why. One of the most crucial farm animals is the cow. More than any other species, cows are highly vulnerable and have a powerful will, yet they are not granted the respect and affection they deserve. Cows, like humans, are likely to be stressed if they are isolated from their closest mates or babies. They have been reduced to commodities only beneficial for meat and dairy production. Let me tell you another fact about cows. We refer to cows as a group. Not all cows are formally referred to as such. To be clear, only female cows are allowed to be called cows. A young male cow is referred to as a bull calf, while an adult male cow is referred to as a bull. A heifer is a young female cow that has not given birth to any calves. Herbivores run and hide from predators, and predators hunt for and eat herbivores. But a story from India in the early 2000s reveals that nature isn't always so easy. Villagers in Gujarat began registering further leopard sightings in June 2002. An extraordinary relationship formed between a wild leopard and a cow that has to be seen to be believed. In the sugarcane fields, a female leopard was spotted. She would kill the nearby farmers' domestic dogs and birds on occasions. Leopards with cubs also seek shelter in reed fields because it's easy to hide from unwanted exposure and threat in the area with the tall plants. In India, leopard sightings are not rare, but increased reports of wildcat sightings urged officials to take action. There was no concerns for a while after the leopard was taken further into the forest and released. But about a month later, people started seeing the leopard again. It was now, though, a younger leopard. According to several social media posts, the leopard's mother was dead, and the cow comforted the younger leopard with its milk. That is not the case, but the tale remains captivating. A family living on the outskirts of the village had some cows that used to graze near the reed fields. They found that this younger leopard came to visit one of the cows at night. The fact that the cow took in her intruder and handled it as one of her calves is even more shocking, according to the cow's owner. At first, animal conservationists were sceptical, but they soon witnessed the extraordinary relationship between the predator and the herbivore. The leopard was discovered to be a young female leopard. The leopard will approach the cow, totally missing the two bulls. There is no aggression on the part of the leopard and no fear on the part of the cow when they first approached. The two unexpected pals seemed to be entirely at home with each other. The leopard brushed up against the cow like a cat and sat down next to it when the two first met. Every evening, the leopard came between 9:30 and 11 o'clock and spent time with the cow. The cow would sometimes kiss the leopard's head as if she were her calf. The villagers also heard the typical gurgling noises. The cow and the leopard's bond was similar between a mother and a child, as the cow saw the leopard as her calf and the leopard saw the cow as a mother leopard rather than prey. Because of the unique story they have, the duo became well known. Photographers and bystanders gathered on the roof of the closest home. The village elders had nothing against the leopard, but they were concerned that it could threaten anyone at night, so they requested that it be captured and released into the wild as it had been like with the former leopard. However, the leopard stubbornly refused to approach the cage with the lure, running about and sometimes attempting to kill the goat that was attached as the bait. Hence, the people tried to tranquilize the animal with a tranquilizing dart, but the leopard fled before this strategy could be implemented. The leopard would still come to see the cow at times and then vanish for days or weeks at a time before reappearing. The leopard visited the cow from time to time and stayed with it until morning from November 4 to 29. For some cause, the leopard was missing between November 30 and December 29. It was, however, seen in the area. The leopard came to come for the first fortnight, and if no one had seen it since then, the villagers occasionally discovered circumstantial signs of the leopard's visit. Another remarkable story happened in Scotland's most remote areas, when a farmer named Steve and a cow named Leela that stopped giving milk. The cow returned from the farm with an empty udder every day for a week. When the farmer noticed the cow seemed ill, he called a veterinarian. Leela's milk had disappeared and the vet couldn't determine why. The cow was in excellent health. He decided to pursue the cow, who marched cautiously and nibbled on the grass alongside the other cows. But when the herd reached the woodland, Leela began to lag and hid among the trees. Steve was taken aback by the cow's actions. After pursuing the cow, the farmer discovered Leela in the tall grass and couldn't understand why it would run into the trees. And she wasn't alone. She was with a little calf, which the cow had given birth to. She didn't want to bring it home because she was afraid it would be taken away from her and put somewhere else, and had happened to all her calves in the previous 5 years. And she wanted to hide the calf in the forest thicket and visit the calf every day to feed. She didn't want the calf to be taken away from her again, so she tried to hide it in the thickets of the forest and come to feed it. Steve didn't want to take her calf away from her any longer, preferring to keep them together. The animal world is not as easy as we once thought, and even cows can surprise us with their abilities to make friends and love their pets. Farm animals are treated as commodities in the animal agricultural industry. But now and then, a few animals that were once part of this vast operation get lucky and end up living the life that they've always enjoyed. One filled with caring, freedom and eternal warmth and treatment. Hansel and Gretel are two of these lucky animals. In Edgar's Mission Farm Sanctuary in Willowmaven, Australia, had not rescued them on a fateful day in early January 2010, their lives would have been different. The lovely Gretel arrived first. As part of Edgar's mission, Gretel was the victim of a concerted pairing between her mother, a Frisbean dairy cow, and a bull to introduce the mother cow to lactate. Kyle Burnren tells OGP. Dairy cows are expected to be pregnant and to produce milk, so they must mate to give birth, but they cannot raise their calves. Instead, their babies are taken from them soon after birth and either become herd replacement animals, as in the case for the females, or are killed. A disaster that awaits them all. Gretel's farm owners were kind people who recognised Gretel's battle spirit even though she was born with just 3 legs. Being born with just 3 legs would ordinarily have been a death sentence, but Gretel's tendency in getting around and thriving struck a chord with the farmers. Buren said Gretel's farmers asked Edgar's mission to come in and save her so she could have a real shot at survival. When sanctuary workers arrived at the farm, they were met by a cheerful and excited young calf, but they realised she would soon become lonely, which promoted the rescue of Hansel, a male calf who would become her best friend. It just so happens that we called a dairy farmer to see if he had a calf and if it would have been killed otherwise, and dear little Hansel had just been born at that moment. Berend explains, as Edgar's missions left Gretel's old house, they stopped at Hansel's farm to pick him up as he was just a few hours old. Crew members peered into the attached horse carriage to see how they were doing when the rescue truck paused to refill for the trip back to the shelter, which is when they got their respective names. When we looked back over the back of the raft, we were met by 2 of the most innocent faces you've ever seen, staring back at us with wide eyes of wonder. Hansel and Gretel, 2 little abandoned children, making their way home to an entirely new world of kindness, came in mind at that very moment. Berend says young Hansel was frail and weary from the travel as they arrived at the sanctuary. However, as time passed, both Hansel and Gretel were shown true love, care and compassion. They grew into the gentle, loving individuals that they are today. Hansel has always been a clown, sticking his big raspy tongue out to investigate your face or handbag. On the other hand, Gretel is a quiet, reserved young lady who is exceptionally calm and friendly. Despite their different personalities, Hansel and Gretel are the best of friends, sharing their independence on Edgar's mission's expansive acreage. That's it for today's video. I hope you enjoyed these fantastic stories about cows. What do you think about these stories? What do you think happened with the leopard after not being seen? Let me know your thoughts in the comments section down below. Before leaving, don't forget to like, subscribe and hit the bell button for notifications of our future content. With that being said, see you in the next one.